came here last year, you guys had success against them. What things did you guys do well in that series that you want to see out of your team this weekend?
Well, I think everybody brought their A game, and taking time and space away from a highly skilled team, and playing the right way for 60 minutes. There wasn't a lot of ice on both sides. The games were 3-1 and 4-1, I believe, for us, but it was a situation where we played consistently through that 60-minute time frame where there wasn't a lot given up.
Scoring a power play goal in every game this season, how much is that just kind of a confidence boost for this team?
Yeah, well, again, like I said, I think it's a situation where we've got our power play units together for a while now. They've been consistent units, and guys getting a feel for playing together and getting some chemistry there. If you looked in Omaha, it wasn't Gabers or Schmaltz's scoring the goals. It was Frisch and Clevin scoring the goals. So, I think that's a big part of, having success on a power play, that you just don't rely on one guy on the five-man unit. You have other guys that are chipping in.
Being perfect out of the penalty kill last weekend, too, has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, that is huge. I think, first of all, not trying to take a ton of penalties. And I know on Friday we took a few. Both sides took a few. But I think trying to eliminate that. When we played Denver at home, I looked at it. I think each team had 2 power plays on Friday, and we didn't have a power play on Saturday. They had 2. So I think that's a big key, too, of not taking a lot of penalties. And when you do, make sure you kill them.
Just talk about how big of a rivalry this series has become, especially in the last 10 years or so.
Well, it goes deep. I mean, it goes, the tradition and history of both programs, the national championships of both programs. When you talk about recruiting, we're in the same recruiting territory, going after pretty much the same players. And then when you transfer it on the ice, it's the same thing. 2 really good teams that every year perennially have good teams that we won 3 Penroses in a row, and they were right, neck and neck, and they ended up tying us for the Penrose last year. So very similar programs and very competitive, and a lot of storied tradition, and it's a big rivalry.
Just with Denver bringing back so many weapons from last year's title team, have you kind of discussed how you guys are going to approach that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a game plan in place, and we have a situation here where we have last line change, and we're playing at home, and we're getting guys back in our lineup here. So again, like I said, we'll keep continuing on with a really good week of practice that we're having here, and we'll be ready to go on Friday night with the lineup that we want.
You guys really used that last line change last year against them. Is that something that you guys will? I know last week they threw their big line together, and is that something you look at?
Yeah, you know what? Again, it's last line change, and I know teams roll 4 lines, but at the end of the day, I think you want the guys that you want out against their top line, and they do have a top line. They have other good players as well, but they do have a top line that's scoring the majority of their goals, and it's a situation where we probably want to get the matchups that we want.
Is it more on the D?
I think it's incumbent upon all 5 guys on the ice. Obviously you want your D on the ice as far as with the matchup, but whatever line you're playing against, it's got to be 5 guys checking and 5 guys. We talked about time and space right at the beginning of the interview here. That's incumbent upon all 5 guys, not just the D-man. It's about making sure there's not time and space, and I thought we did a good job of that last year when they were in our building.
What are your thoughts on being home for the first time in almost a month?
Love it. Absolutely love it. It's kind of a weird schedule this year. We started at home for a long period of time, then we went on the road for 3 weeks. We're home for 5 of the next 6 games, and then the last 4 games are on the road. The last, we're in St. Cloud and Western the last two weekends of the first half of the season. So again, it is what it is, and at the end of the day, the Ralph has been good to us because we played the right way and used it to our advantage with our fans, and we got to make sure we do that starting Friday.
Who do you get back? Anybody?
You'll know. You'll know. You'll know. Yeah, you'll know. Well, why don't you watch practice like Brad, and then you'll know. So. Okay. All right. Okay. So no. At the end of the day, we have some guys coming in, and we have another practice tomorrow, and I think at the end of the day, we'll have a couple of options going forward.
Carter Mazur is one of Denver's most offensive players. He's been generating a lot of key offensive strategies right now. How are you guys adjusting during practices to kind of help defend?
Well, you know what? You know what? I think that's a good question. At the end of the day, he's had a lot of success on all different levels. Through international play, through college hockey, through his junior hockey career. And I think, obviously you have to be alert and know that when he's on the ice, along with his line mates, that's their top line. But in saying that, they have other good players too. So, we've went in practice as far as, our play with the puck has to be, executing at a high level, but our play without the puck, that's when we really have to earn ourselves a chance to get the puck back and play in their end of the rink. And I think the more times that we have the puck and earning that right to play in their zone, it all starts with taking time and space away from not only that line, but all of their skill players.
And then to circle back a little bit to what Taylor mentioned about the power play goals, how are you guys trying not to rely on them too much? You guys have been doing great offensively, but just out of curiosity.
Yeah, well, again, like I said, our 5-on-5 play has been always a staple of ours, a foundation of our program, and then especially teams have been very good as well. But I think we've gone through a stretch, especially on the road, of not scoring a lot of 5-on-5 goals, and I think we're trying to do a better job of creating habits and details of getting more opportunities on doing that. And you know what? And when we were in Omaha, we did. We scored a big game-tying goal from Owen McLaughlin to Reese Gaber in the slot by doing some concepts that we tried to work on. And again, we got to continue to work on that. So again, like I said, I think it's a situation here where you don't want to rely on your power play to score all your goals. You got to score 5-on-5, but you got to defend really well too.
Beyond scoring more goals than Denver, obviously, what do you most want to see out of this team in these coming games?
I think we want to build off of what we had in Omaha. You know what? We didn't have our best effort in Las Vegas against Arizona State, and we had a lot of passengers. We don't want any passengers, and we want to make sure that everybody's bringing it on Friday night and playing to that level. That Friday night in Omaha is the level we need to get to and even exceed that level. But again, it's got to be consistent. It's got to be for 60 minutes. It can't be part-time. It's got to be all-time.